So, finding your life purpose, it's, for lack of a better word, quite complicated. So, hey, just picture me here. So, it's not that it's complicated, it's just learning to approach things in a different way. It's like trying to find the same song you want to listen to the rest of your life, despite there being so many other things out there. So, let's start with this. Remember when you were a kid and your teacher asked you, yo, what do you want to become when you grow up? And at the time, when you see pictures of firefighters, policemen, military men, and even posters become a student leader, president, whatever at the time. And I remember thinking, well, there's so many options to choose from these four options. Maybe let's try maybe become a firefighter. Maybe that might be my best fit. Especially when the fireworks been swinging by and saying hi, introducing themselves. That was quite an exhilarating experience. The firefighter was so cool, especially with a big old red truck, them coming down, talking to the little kids, just being cool and stuff like that. And eventually, the policemen show up. They're like, yo, check this stuff out, this is what we're about. So you think that's cool. So you go, you know what? Scratch being a fireman, let's be a policeman. How about them apples? So we started thinking, let's do that. Let's be a policeman. That's the life, you know what I mean? But eventually you start seeing stuff about the army. You go, yo, I want to be an army guy too. Shit, let's be a marine. But you start thinking about that and start wanting these different things. As a kid, we change our perspectives super easily because everything's so new when it comes to knowledge, to these experiences. And eventually, we got to the point where I got to ask, yo, have you thought becoming the president of the United States? Because when our teachers ask us questions like these, as a kid, you have to answer it. And me being myself, I was like, yo, if I'm gonna be the president, I gotta commit because like low key, I can't. If nobody can lead me, I can lead myself. And I was like, I was more of a let's just say I like scheming when I was a little kid. So I was like, yes, if I become the president, everybody gonna do my horror, something like that. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking at the time. But eventually, as I grew up, I started to lose these ideals because when I watched everybody around me, there were so many options of what to do. Um, and just seeing adults just adulting, it just kind of gives you a different perspective on life. I remember for a real long time, I was holding the concept of being a president. I was enamored with it. I was excited by it. But eventually, I let the idea go because I thought to myself, how could I be the president if there's so many people out there doing so many things. They could do a better job than I could do ever in my life. So I decided to let the idea go, let that feeling go. So I go, okay, sweet. So what now? So I'll look around, try to find purpose to give myself in my life. And eventually, I ended up being confused. For a real time, I felt confused because I see the adults in my life and they themselves are either confused or this is just life. This is the only thing I can do. This is what I can see myself doing every single day. And I watch adults being how should I say it? Either fearing what they're gonna do every single day, every single moment of their life, or just be confused, jump into another thing, do a different thing, just trying to seem busy, say it like that. And eventually, as I started to grow up, I started to feel confused because there's just so much to pick. And all the things I grew up to know turned out to be false, turned out to be not the right thing for myself. And eventually I ended up just getting to the point where I was seeking guidance, wanting to find what can I do for myself to do the right thing for my being, for my life. So I asked. I talked to many people. I talked to therapists. I talked to people on the street. I talked to my friends. I talked to everybody. But nobody seems to know what is it, what they're looking for. And I realized, yo, if nobody knows what they're looking for, then what am I doing? Trying to look for what I'm looking for, if that's the case. And so I thought, well, if nobody knows what they're looking for, then that just means we just gotta create it. We gotta create the purpose in our life. Because there's so many things we can do now. There's so many options. It's like whenever you go online, you see different things on there, be it a luxury lifestyle, cars, food, vacations, travels. Then you see the other side of it. You see people living frugally, you see people living a minimalistic lifestyle. There's like so many different things going on, so many different options. And one looks at that, it's like, yo, let me get some of that. Let me try a little bit of this. Let me try a little bit of that. Let me try a little bit of all. And you get to the point where it's just not, it's just too much. Just too many options. What can you commit to? Why commit to one thing if there's another thing you can do? Which, I mean, granted, there's a lot of validity to that. Because, like, yo, what should I live a minimalist lifestyle? Like, not much, just being in the room by myself all the time. It's like, that's not something I want to have for myself. So I thought, whoa, let me, you know what? Let me get some nice cars. Let me get some motorcycles. Let me get all that nice stuff. Get like live that lifestyle. But I thought, if I live a lifestyle like that, of course I would be full with items, stuff, and goods, or whatever the heck you call them nowadays. But my emotional aspect, I feel that, and I know for a fact I would be feeling empty. So you see different things out there, saying try this out, or yo, like see it through this lens, and it's overwhelming. So I thought to myself, if nobody knows, if I don't know, then what now? What can I do? And like I just reflected on my life. I've always been used to being told what to do, what to think, and how to live my life. There's always been something out there telling me how to do things, but there really hasn't been any in the way saying to me, make your own choice. Decide for yourself. Live the life that you want to live. There hasn't really been much of that influence in my life. And I thought, wait, when I was younger, I used to be super bombastic. I used to be super upfront. I used to like tell people what I thought on my mind. If I wanted something, I'm gonna get it because this is what I want. That's what I desired. And over time, I got told, no, don't do that. Conform, conform, conform. And eventually, over time, I started doing that. I started conforming. I started thinking for myself. I started to lose myself. I started just becoming another pawn in the cog. And it's just, and that realization left me with the idea, what if I choose for myself the life I want? What is it that I desire? What do I like? Do I like stuff? Yes, I do love stuff. Do I like quietness? Yes, I do love that. But do I enjoy that I do? Not really. So, if I were to give myself some purpose, what would I want to do? I mean, purpose, like, so means to me something that feels fulfilling, something that gets you excited, something that you look forward to. That, to me, is finding purpose. Because if I think of myself being, let's say, um, a firefighter, I think it's cool and all. I think it's awesome. I respect those people who do that sort of works because I'm not gonna lie, they do a lot of good for this world. They save people. They go out there, literally risking their life and health to do those things. But do I see myself doing that for the rest of my life if I were to become a firefighter? No, not really. Why? It just wouldn't be the right thing for me because I desire something that allows me to create, something that allows me to speak to others. So I thought about that. I can do it, sure, no doubt in my world, but for the rest of my life, I don't see myself doing that. So, to get to the point, we're the ones who give ourselves purpose. We're the ones who decide whether or not it works for us, whether or not we decide to live our lives a certain way. We have the choice. We always had the choice. We have to realize it. We're the people who guide, we as people guide ourselves, going through what we know. But every now and then, it's always good to remind ourselves we have the choice to do things differently. Even if they're scary, we have the choice to live the life to our fullest, to live our purpose. We have the opportunity to do so.